TikTok stars should never star in movies, let alone Netflix movies. Ever. There's actually a really good review from the Washington Post titled, "He's All That is Not All That, Not Even a Little Bit of That." Yeah, that pretty much sums it up. I don't even know how to describe it, because it's both a so bad it's good movie, but it's also a so bad it's bad movie. What I'm trying to say is this movie's bad. It's very, very bad is what I'm trying to say. Bad movie. I mean, to the acting, to the editing, to the directing, to the comedy, to the drama, to the writing. This is truly just a colossal failure on so many levels. I guess I have to preface that I have not seen She's All That, starring Freddie Prinze Jr., the gender-swapped original, and from what I've seen from it, and also watching the trailer in order to prepare for this video, as you can see I have done a lot of research, it looks like a fun, nostalgic little movie that you would probably adore and have a special place in your heart, and probably look back at and say to yourself, "What, are you retarded?" This is a catastrophe that, even though probably more than 100 people have already talked about this film, and I know that this isn't going to be as relevant as when it released, but I'm just gonna jump in on the bandwagon, I guess, and join in because better late than never, am I right?
I can't answer that due to the fact that I'm 40.
At one point she loses her sponsors, which is obviously super relatable to the 99% of the audience watching this. And on that note, this video is sponsored by no one actually, cause I forgot to tell you that I'm that 99%. For one, I just have to say that I don't hate Addison Rae or anything. I think she's doing her thing and doing her thing well, and that thing is mouthing words to a song and dancing like I'm actually not sure what she's doing there, but honestly, her performance feels like the equivalent of when Lily sang at a late night talk show for 2 years, which is honestly longer than I ever thought it would, but then again, the Magic Johnson show ended in like 8 weeks, so hey, the more you know. But anyway, that's when a social media star, and in this case, TikTok, the app where you get famous by literally doing nothing, and you try so hard to get into this weird medium of entertainment, and then you eventually find out that you suck at it. And with that said, as a first acting debut, Addison is really terrible in this movie. It's like the writers of the film were like, okay, we got a social media influencer playing a social media influencer. I mean, the range, but she sucks at it. I mean, come on, her character in the movie is called Paget? Paget? Am I even saying it right? The hell is that name? Like, the name sounds like if you played Scrabble with an infant, you know what I mean? But anyway, Paget is actually not Paget. Her real name is Addison Rae, and she's got over 1 million followers, yet they surprisingly really nailed her personality, which is unbearably yet fascinatingly the most uninteresting person on the planet. I feel like a good example is when Addison finds out about one of her best friends not really being her best friend. Not since The Real Housewives have I been more shocked and intrigued. Let's take a look.
Oh my god. You've been planning this all along.
What are you talking about?
That day in Jordan's trailer. You were holding the camera. My entire life was falling apart, and you didn't press stop. You let it happen because you knew you were gonna run.
Oh my god. I'm really caring right now. This is my really caring voice. Beep boop. Not only is the acting just beyond horrendous, but what is this editing and camera work? Like, who shot this? I mean, I don't like roller coasters very much, but man, this just makes me hate them even more.
You deserve my Croquembouche, you Croquembouche!
Why? And also, how did that line make it into the writer's room? For one, a Croquembouche is like a French dessert, so it's like, how foreign can you really get? Enough of the fact that the writers probably took half a millisecond to write the script, but I just want to internalize the thought process of that line and how it came to be. Alright, we have to write an insult in this scene that's gonna blow up everyone's minds. We can have her hold a plate of Croquembouche. Perfect, wait! what's a croquembouche? I don't know. Still perfect. Oh no, we have a fourth of a millisecond left to finish the script. How can we turn it into an insult? Croquembouche? Larry, you're a genius. I know.
You must miss her a lot.
Very sincere, Addison. Very sincere, but let's get a take 2 on that.
You must miss her a lot.
Alright, perfect. We got it. What is this directing? You have to be the most condescending human on earth to ever say it that way, but for all it's worth, no, this is definitely how humans talk. Great job, Addison. Honestly, pretty much everybody in this film is off. Tanner Buchanan, aka you just know he's good because he's in Cobra Kai. The dude has some of the worst pieces of dialogue I have seen in a while, but he manages to not pull it off, but at least make it a little less insufferable, and also because we do know that the dude can actually act. But honestly, my main issue with him as a character is the whole makeover montage. I mean, if this were in real life, I can tell you very truthfully, the dude looks fine. I always hate it in movies when they do that because they're always like,
picture the best version of yourself. I do. That's the person I want you to be.
now let's change you. I mean, honestly, he's a pretentious loser with messy long hair, a flannel shirt, and a beanie. I mean, seriously. Who's the disaster here? Probably this movie. We also have Rachel Leigh Cook in this movie, who, by the way, fun fact, was actually the she in She's All That, which I thought was kind of cool, but then I found out that this isn't canon, so I don't know why she's in this movie at all then. And also, probably the only good and hilarious thing in the movie, to me anyway, was Matthew Lillard. Yeah, Shaggy himself.
This is tied for the most terrifying day of my life. I was like every other freaking day of my life.
It's not like all his lines were comedy gold or anything, but the very small amount of creative spark they had in this film went to his lines, and a good chunk of them really made me laugh.
I know this is live streaming, but if you put your phones down, it's actually happening right here in front of you. This means a lot to some of you. So let's get through it so we can be done.
Oh, and also, let's quickly talk about the advertisement in this. It's pretty abysmal. Like, there's a lot of movies that hide it very well, other movies don't.
Got milk?
But look, no lunatic holds Doritos that way. That's the way a Lego figure holds a snack. By the way, this video is brought to you by Lego. Oh, also, did I mention that at the end of the movie there's also a dance sequence? Damn it. The funny thing is, the very few things that I know about She's All That is that there is a really big dance sequence, but from what I've heard, there's this sort of build up to it, and from what I've seen of it, it actually looks really impressive. But not only does it come out of nowhere, but the dancing is just horrible. It is atrocious. I feel like they did this whole dance sequence not to stay true to the original, but mainly because most of the people watching this are little girls obsessed with TikTok and or Addison Rae. I also get the feeling that the people behind this movie are so genuinely tone deaf about the way people consume TikToks, which I'll just say is a lot more different than watching her dance in a movie. And also, can I mention the fact that this is the worst looking high school prom I have ever seen? I mean, we all know that there's probably like 40 people tops due to them shooting this in COVID guidelines, which I can kind of gloss over. But it's honestly the decorations and the costume design and how very prison-like the colors of the wall are. What even is this movie? Then Addison gives us the most powerful speech you could ever ask from a TikTok personality.
High school's just a bunch of scared people pretending to be something they're not.
Yeah, very well said, Addison. Very well said. There's one problem, though. That was the worst speech I have ever heard. You basically said the words, "be yourself," but instead you added what a 7-year-old thinks of high school. Think about that. Then, and I'm not kidding, Walmart Justin Bieber rides on a horse, which, first of all, how did he perfectly time himself to run through the grass with the horse? Was he just waiting for her, and once she came out, he's just like, alright, she's here, giddy up.
And I would have rode him all the way here, but I think I would have gotten arrested on the 405.
Well, that explains it. Also, I love the fact that the lesson of the movie is basically big shock, be true to who you are, be kind, be yourself, yada yada yada, all that nonsense, unless you have the choice not to be, because the ending is literally them still taking pictures and posting them on social media, which is kind of a mixed message, because on one hand, I get it, you converted from something as corrupted as the makeup business, but again, a lot of things are corrupted in the internet, but you now changed it to you traveling around the world. That's great, but isn't the idea of the movie showing your true self and not having to be obligated to show your millions of fans that time you went to the Eiffel Tower? Am I getting this wrong? Anyway, He's All That is really bad. Bad movie. So I'm gonna give He's All That, aka that terrible Addison Rae movie, a 3 out of 10. I mean, literally everything about it doesn't work. The writing, the acting, the editing, the music, the directing, literally nothing about it works. Except for Matthew Lillard. I actually really liked him in this movie.